Hey, welcome back. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make some mini soap and mask charms. I got this idea from another creator named Polymer Creations, who clearly makes some pretty cool stuff. She also has a YouTube channel, so if you guys want to check her out, I'm going to link everything in the description below. So let's get started. Alright, I'll just start off by saying that this was actually something I filmed a while ago while still learning my setup, and when I went back to edit, I realized I had missed some stuff or the footage was just completely unusable. So I've tried to make everything as clear as possible. Hopefully I did that. First, I just started by creating a basic teeny tiny bar of soap shape and stuck an eye pin in the top of it and baked it. So that's what you see me with here. In most of the things I make, I find I actually do multiple bakes. It's not something that is necessary, but in my opinion can make pieces a lot cleaner. And that's often the reason I choose to bake where it may not always be needed. I felt it was important to say that because this particular project, I did do a lot of bakes, but I was extremely happy with the outcome, so I didn't mind. But again, it's not something that's completely necessary. It's just preference. So I started by making another little piece to the top of the bar. As a side note, whenever attaching a piece of unbaked clay to something baked, I like to use liquid Sculpey just to make sure they adhere completely once everything is completely baked. Then you can see me using a dotting tool and kind of switching between the silicone sculpting tools again to sculpt the word soap into the top. Just kind of go at it until you're happy with it, just like everything else. Then I rolled out a thin snake of clay and cut different sizes to create the suds or bubbles in the soap. I just rolled those into little balls and I kind of added them here and there till I liked the look of the bar of soap. Okay, so while you watch me make the clay, I just thought I'd give you a little update on me. So I've been working a lot lately on trying to open a shop of some sort, like an Etsy shop or something like that. I've had a lot of people ask me if I sell the clay that I make, and I would love to be able to sell it. There's just so many logistics that are a little bit overwhelming that I am in the process of figuring out, as well as creating designs. So hopefully that will happen and come true. Don't hold me to the fire because I don't want to disappoint, but yeah, hopefully it will happen. Because I'm trying to create this shop, if any of you guys have any ideas or things that you would love to see, leave a comment and let me know. I'm super open to suggestions and stuff like that. I would love to hear your guys' ideas. I was actually thinking of adding these little soap charms to my shop, so I would love to know if you guys would like that. You'll see at the end of the video I kind of model these on a mask that I wear every day. So I actually wear that mask to the grocery store so people get to see my little soap charm. Okay, so you saw we finished those little soaps up and we baked them like Snow White for 20 minutes in the oven as usual, and now we're moving on to the masks. So I used the same clay that I used to make that first soap, and I just rolled that out using 2 popsicle sticks. The reason I use those 2 popsicle sticks is because it's a really easy way to get an even width. So once I roll that out and I'm happy with the width of it and the way that it's looking, I cut it into a small rectangle that I cut into 2 because I was going to make 2 masks. Then I just put this onto like a clear block. You can put this onto wax paper, whatever. I was just looking for a surface that I could easily move around to work on. And then I grabbed some paper towel because I wanted to use the paper towel to give the masks a fabric texture. So just take the paper towel and kind of press it down to achieve that fabric texture. Then using the back of my X-Acto knife, I just make 3 indents to give the illusion of the fabric folds in a mask. And again, using the back of my X-Acto knife, I'm kind of pressing on the outer edges to create I just need a thinner outer edge. That thinner outer edge is gonna help us to recreate the sewn parts of the surgical mask. Yeah, I just find it helps to recreate the look of it. once those are all figured out and smoothed down and it still stays a square like a mask would be, I go in with a needle tool and basically create what would be sewing pricks. So I just go along like a sewing machine would. I create those sewing marks on the side that will have the ear loops. I should mention I'm totally embarrassed because I realize you guys can see my face in the reflection of the glass. And I do a lot of my clay late at night, so sorry if I look terrible. Okay, so as you can see, we baked those squares. I totally screwed up here and I forgot some of my footage. As you can see, there's white on the top and the bottom with the sewing marks as well. I added those after I baked it and then baked it again. But honestly, I would probably skip that bake and just do all the white at once with the ear loops that I'm doing right now. So I'm just rolling another snake of clay and kind of measuring out the size that I want for the first one. Then I use the first one that I cut as a guide for length so that we have even ear loops on both sides. And then here I used a little bit of liquid Sculpey to attach that to the baked clay. Again, if that white wasn't baked, you wouldn't even need that Sculpey, so kind of makes it a little bit easier that way. So once you get the ear loops attached, you go ahead and you bake it for 20 minutes again. So we're done with all the baking and now we are going to start finishing everything. So I decided I wanted to use UV resin to finish the mask. I was concerned about the mask ear loops breaking because the first mask I did broke. So this was actually my second attempt at finishing these. Because it broke, I wanted to fill the area between the ear loop and the mask to make it really, really strong. I just kind of start here by filling that area. Kind of trial and error at first, and then I realized it was much easier to lay it down and finish it that way, like you can see me doing here. This is also a perfect example of why I like to use UV resin a lot, because I can pour a little bit and then cure it, pour it, cure it, pour it, cure it, and it makes it so much faster than a 24-hour curing resin. However, 24-hour curing resin is a lot better for larger pieces, and there's obvious benefits and drawbacks to both kinds of resin depending on the project that you're doing, whereas UV resin is great for small pieces like this. So now I'm using a finding mold. This mold has a bunch of different shapes and sizes of findings. So you can see I'm kind of creating like a horseshoe in resin to create a finding for the mask that we covered in resin. So just fill the molds, cure it, and then pop it out. Then I dab just a little bit on the edge that I want to connect it to. I kind of hold it while I cure it a little bit just to make sure it stays in place. Cure it for a couple seconds and you're pretty much good to go. Then for our bar of soap, I'm using our Varathane finish again, and I'm just brushing that all over the soap in a couple layers. Then last but not least, we just want to add our findings to everything. So I think I used 2 jump rings here. I used a large one and then a smaller one just to connect things. Pretty self-explanatory. You just kind of pull them apart, connect it all. Obviously you can see I made a soap in purple as well, but again, thinking of making more. And then I just used a large jump ring and a small jump ring for the mask as well. I just kind of attach things how I think they're gonna look right. There's no science. And there you go. You have your mini soap charms and mini mask charms. I hope this video can serve as a cute little reminder to mask up, wash your hands, and social distance while we get through this for the safety of everyone. Thank you guys so much for watching my video again. Any questions or comments are welcome. Thank you again to Polymer Creations. Make sure you check her out. All of her links and stuff are below. See you guys next time. Bye.